Are you excited about going to a cemetery or just talking to family and friends and finding out more? Well, we have someone here who has collected a lot of ghost stories. In fact, collecting your own hometown ghost stories is what David J. Schmidt with us really is good at. So, David, you probably, even as a kid, loved ghost stories and gobbled them up or something. But what meant you as an adult decided to hang on to that love? Tell me more about this attraction to learning about ghost stories.
Totally. Yeah, as a kid, I loved scary stories, ghost stories, anything scary. Scary scenes in movies. On the VHS, I would rewind it and watch that scary scene over and over again, get that little thrill out of it. I'd read the Alvin Schwartz's Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books with those terrifying black and white illustrations, and gave myself nightmares from them. So I loved scary, macabre things, but also I felt like they were things that came from other more exotic places. I grew up in suburban California, and I thought the places that we lived, well, those aren't places that have ghost stories or exciting stories. I thought suburbia is just nowhere. It's just tract homes and strip malls, and I thought those stories, they come from the Ozarks, from these folklorists who collect stories in the mountains. And then as an adult, I realized that that is could not be further from the truth, and that every place actually does have its own very interesting ghostly folklore.
And that has grown more and more, and you keep telling people that yes, these stories exist. Why do you think it's even important to collect them? I mean, it's one thing to know about them, but collecting is a lot more intentional. Why do you think that's important?
Yeah, I think it's always important to appreciate the oral lore of a place. I mean, whatever you think about ghosts or paranormal things, whatever you believe, whether you're a total believer, total skeptic, somewhere in between, doesn't really matter to appreciate the importance of the oral traditions of a place. They're a part of what gives that place a sense of groundedness, a sense of place, of its own identity that makes it unique. And every place has its own stories associated with it that really mean that no place is just nowhere USA. Even though, as a teenager growing up there, you might feel that way. You might feel like, oh, interesting places are somewhere else in the world that I want to go someday when I have money to go there. But right now, I just live in nowhere USA. And then when you delve into that local lore, and that lore is connected to the history of the place and the people who've lived there, and all the different kinds of people who've lived there, that's what develops it, makes it interesting. And you realize, like, wow, my hometown really is an interesting place, no matter where it is in the world.
Well, definitely. And I love the discovery in of itself, whether it be ghost stories or anything. I think it's always exciting. Now, this is a virtual workshop that you will be teaching on Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, and that will be from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. But if you see the link, the storycrossroads.org/ all things story, you see that link there below, then you can get a time zone converter and you can also register for it. But for those who are attending, what would you like people to be prepared with? I mean, just showing up is obviously the first step, right? The virtual live, though it is recorded in case people couldn't make it schedule wise. But what would you ask if you had a wish list of something for these people to be prepared with by attending?
I mean, the most important thing is just show up with curiosity, bring your interest, your curiosity, show up ready to interact. I'm not going to be just talking at everybody here. I really want to hear from everyone. And if there's one thing you could bring with you or prepare, think of some local ghost stories that you might have heard about the place you live or lived at some point. I'm sure that they're there. I'm sure that no matter where you live in the world, I'm sure there is some interesting local haunted place or legend, or even maybe you lived in a house that you felt like there was something there, a presence, or some other kind of a legend about something mysterious or unusual. Even if you don't think of it as a ghost story, Hemet, California, for instance, small town near Temecula, California, where I went to high school. Hemet is this very small town without much that's remarkable about it, But outside of Hemet, there's this rock that has been carved with this strange labyrinth. It was carved by the indigenous people thousands of years ago, and most people agree that they don't know what it means. So I'm sure everyone's hometown has something like that, some local mystery, something. So do a little thinking, do a little brainstorm about what those local mysteries might be, and I'd like to hear about them from everyone.
And that genre of ghost story very, very quickly and almost always connects on the historical side. Sometimes it actually blends into that personal narrative side if you've experienced that. And I know you have mentioned that sometimes you get these moments that have a clear beginning, middle, end, and sometimes you just get these little snippets. And what do you do with that? So even if you have a snippet, bring it and
Definitely.
have that, whether or not it's personally connected to you or not, bring that little something, and I think then you'll have a deeper experience for this. So again, this is collecting your own hometown ghost stories. Woo, how exciting. And this is on Saturday, August 2nd, 2025. Check out that link, storycrossroads.org/all things story. Ooh, you know what, it may not just be the living who attend this virtual workshop.
Yeah, every now and then you get a phantom participant, just a blank screen that pops up there, and we'll see. We'll see if the
You'll have to
spirits
come and find out until we tell
definitely.
again.